Welcome back to Ramsey on the Isle of Man TT course. This is the Isle of Man when it's not TT week. Same location, different time. The world famous Isle of Man TT is hailed as the greatest motorbike race on the planet. We're going to scratch beneath that tarmac to discover some of the historical nuggets, facts and curiosities dotted all around the TT course. So, visors down and get ready for 10 facts about the Isle of Man TT course. Ramsey is right on the doorstep of the mountain section of the TT circuit. So let's head up May Hill, navigate around the Ramsey hairpin and head up to the hills. But hang on, what's behind the name Waterworks? Well, it's because Ballure Reservoir is down there, down a path just off the car park. The reservoir and forest plantation is a stunning place to walk around. The original reservoir was first built in 1859 to supply water to Ramsey. So one of those 26 dark sky discovery sites. So you get some amazing night skies here. The Gooseneck is a dramatic uphill tight right bend where riders need to brake and then continue the climb uphill to the mountain section. You get a fantastic view of the riders here, so it's a popular spot for spectators and the media. Riders go slow enough to grab a glance at pit boards. Top tip, Hibernia Road, a narrow country road, links the Gooseneck area of the mountain road to the Ramsey-Laxey Coast Road, giving you access to the rest of the island. Joey's, the 26th milestone, is named after TT legend Joey Dunlop. King of the Road Joey Dunlop was TT winner 26 times and is an absolute hero on the Isle of Man, his native Northern Ireland, and for anyone who knows anything about motorbike racing. He was also a hero off the racetrack. Before each race season, he'd drive a van across Europe, chock-a-block with supplies for Romanian, Albanian and Balkan orphanages. He was awarded an OBE for his humanitarian work. Joey died tragically during a race in Estonia in 2000. Guthrie Memorial. Another tragic loss to the racing world and beyond. The Guthrie Memorial sits at the very place Jimmy Guthrie retired on his very last TT race in 1937. He lost his life in the German Grand Prix later that same year. From the 27th milestone, we hit the famous Mountain Mile and onwards to the Mountain Box, a hut built so marshals can shelter from the worst of any bad weather that might be creeping its way over the mountain. Then, hurtling past Stonebreaker's hut at the 29th milestone, we reach the Verandah, a notorious stretch of the course that stole the life of Gilberto Palotti in the 1972 TT, in a race held during heavy rain. Giacomo Agostini, a good friend of Gilberto Palotti, declared he would never race in the TT again. Other top riders joined him, and in 1976, the TT, the top event within the FIM World Championships, was removed from their Grand Prix schedule. In 1973, rules tightened at the TT. If the weather was bad enough that an emergency helicopter was unable to take off or land, then races must be postponed or cancelled. Bungalow and the 31st milestone at Snae Fell. There used to be a Swiss chalet style hotel here called Bungalow Hotel, hence the name. And what about Snae Fell? It's those Vikings again. Not only did they start Tynwald, the Isle of Man's parliament, a lot of place names have Norse origin. Snae Fell is Old Norse meaning snow peak. We have a lot of hills on the Isle of Man, but Snae Fell is the only one high enough to be classed a mountain. It's an amazing spot to watch the races. You can catch the tram up from Douglas or Laxey. You've got Victory Cafe here, and you could also take an electric tram to the top of Snae Fell. From here, on a clear day, you can see Ireland, England, Scotland and Wales. Hailwood's height is the highest point of the course at 422 metres or 1,385 feet. It's named in tribute to Mike Hailwood, world racing legend and right up there as one of the top TT riders of all time. Brandy Well. Apparently, there used to be a water well round here. The bloke who owned the land around the well wanted to show off his wealth to some folk visiting him. unbeknown to his visitors, he'd poured a whole load of brandy down the well. So when that bucket was hauled up from the well, those guests were pleasantly surprised. "32nd milestone, Jukes Bend." Named after another absolute TT legend and multiple world champion, Jeff Duke. Onwards to Windy Corner. Or perhaps it should be renamed Blownahooly Corner. That's what we call Windy round these parts. Windy Corner is a particularly exposed section of the mountain course that can clock up some notorious wind speeds. The 34th milestone, and perched at the top of the famous downhill stretch to Cregnabar is Kate's Cottage. Previously a shepherd's cottage, Kate's Cottage was actually Tate's Cottage. Apparently, a BBC reporter commentating on the TT got it wrong and mistakenly referred to it as Kate's Cottage, and the name stuck. Check out this letter published in the Isle of Man Examiner in 1937. "I live in the house known as Kate's Cottage, but it is a printer's mistake, as it should be Tate's Cottage." Written by Geoffrey Rhodes Tate. There's plenty more facts and nuggets around the rest of the TT course. We're heading down that road to Cregnabar and beyond in the next episode. Oh, and you can click that subscribe button if you like too. Thanks for watching.